Hi, Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera. Today I would like to present about characterize welding signal to weld condition for friction stir welding. And before we start, I am AHMAD bin Ahmad SUHAIMI. My matric number is B0518-10028 and I'm from FKP 4 BMFG Section 1 and my supervisor is Dr. Muhammad Kamil bin Suhaid. So in overview, I have the project background. Basically, it's about the introduction in this project. Next, I have the problem statement, and this about the problem that I encounter while doing this project. Next, I have the objectives about the project. Next is scope. This section is the scope that I have to make to complete the project. And then I have the literature review. Furthermore, I have the methodology. This about the method that I will use in this project. Moreover, is the flow chart to make the project. Next, I will explain how MATLAB can be used in this project. And lastly, is the expected outcome. So next is project background. Friction stir welding is about joining process in which a pin to rotate against the seams between two stationary parts. Three-level online internal control are allocated by the industry. Within the first level, one should be able to detect production of back welds automatically online. Within the second level, should be ready locate kind of fault and reason for faulty weld production, like change in welding process include the disturbance in shielding gas delivery, changing in wire feed rate and welding geometry, etc. Within the third level, should be able to connect welding parameter during the welding process to ensure probability weld quality. So the next point is to characterize its signal on friction stir welding. And lastly, the relationship between verified physics process occurring within the welding process. So in this slide is about project statement. In this new age, all humans use automation device to make a better life. Friction stir welding also can be automation process using a MATLAB. The data will be characterized welding defect on plating or welding process. By collecting all the data, it can be resolved and makes a quality welding. This project will make sure there is less defect on welding and plating. So we go through the objective. The target that I want to achieve in this project is to collect welding signal of current, temperature, and etc. I also want to characterize the signal based on friction stir welding. And last, I want to make a process auto using MATLAB to detect defect on welding or plating. Now we go through the scope. The scope in this project is to collect all the data based on friction stir welding. It also to make sure there is no defect along welding process. And last, to make an automatic process using MATLAB. Next, I will explain about my finding journal on friction stir welding. Based on Su et al., the effect of friction stir welding on weld forming high pro structure and investigate in depth the microstructure as well as static 3-point bending tests were investigated. With the criticality point out, research have discovered that friction stir welding tool produced from standard material last longer when used to join aluminum alloy. Sun et al. Also point out as outcome, the steering is better too, resulting in better looking weld surface. And last, Parindra Raja Venom et al. Also point out using Taguchi approach improve the welding strength by selecting the proper process factor and its value. So for the next slide, we go to the metrology. These are the step-by-step that I have to accomplish to make sure the project is successful, and it will start with set objective and clarify scope of the project. Then we go through to the data collection on friction stir welding, and from the data collection and signal that we get, we will make a coding to MATLAB, and if the MATLAB is success, it can be presented to Word. If it's not, I need to adjust the coding on MATLAB. That's all for the flowchart. Right here, I will talk about how MATLAB can be used to make a better friction stir welding. One point is data collection for friction stir welding. Next, we have plate, and lastly, the MATLAB. For data, the subpoint is friction stir welding flows into inclusion, volumetric defect, and non-volumetric defect. Vibration also captured and used for faulty diagnosis. For plate also can be used one of the disturbance in the friction stir welding because of the temperature differential between two sides of welding. In this study, was used to determine the two speed and influence the temperature distribution during the joint. And lastly, for the MATLAB, from the data signal that has been collected, it can be used in MATLAB for detect error of the welding that make a better friction stir welding machine. And for the last slide of my presentation is expected outcome. One of it is I want to improve the knowledge and understanding on using MATLAB. Next, I want to learn about automation process such as SCADA and etc. And lastly, I want to make sure this project can be used in industry. So that's it for me, and I do appreciate for your time listening about my presentation. Thank you and have a nice day.